Hey!
I missed.
Okay, we're a little off today. You see, D has a digital soda, and we only had one bottle opener, so
the mojo's a little messed up right now.
Hey, here it is. Hello!
D can't
Welcome
stop
to the Talkies, everybody. D, really
cool it, man.
settle down, man. We got work to do here.
Contain yourself.
Because we just saw Mamma Mia. Here we go again.
What's the little story?
My, how can I resist ya? Mamma Mia. Here we go again. My, just how much I missed ya.
Let's tell a little story. Story time.
Okay.
So
Go back to the beginning.
days ago,
Yep.
I was like, hey guys, why don't we let the audience decide what movie we see next?
That's not how it went.
And you guys were like, yeah, let's do it, man. And I was like, sweet. So I went and did it, and then they got mad at me for some reason.
Well, there's a little bit of a discrepancy going on here. Kenny, if you'd like to explain from your point of view.
Elaborate.
This is Kenny's point of view. That was D's
How
point
Kenny
of view.
sees it.
Kenny sees it.
This guy decided on his own accord to put up a poll to the public to let other people decide what movie we should watch.
Because we did it before with Isle of Dogs.
That's right, yeah. And that turned out pretty good.
It did. Yeah. This time we
Except
had three choices.
the choices this time were Equalizer 2, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, and Unfriended.
All terrible.
The Dark Web.
All terrible.
All movies that we just did not want to see at all.
But Unfriended, we kind of wanted to see. So we were
curious.
kind of hoping for
We kind of wanted to
that.
see Unfriended because it looked hilariously bad.
Right. And so I posted it on Facebook where your wife got a hold of it.
And from there, I mean, once Amber Ballantyne states her opinion, others follow.
Everyone voted for Mamma Mia.
Everyone did.
Everyone
Yep.
I knew voted for Mamma Mia.
We had 2 votes, I think, for Equalizer 2, and that was it.
And my friend voted for Unfriended.
We begrudgingly decided to go see Mamma Mia, and we liked it.
It was great.
Yeah, we actually liked it quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very, very, very enjoyable.
Yeah, much better than I would think the other ones would have been.
Well, we were just discussing how funny it is that the three of us would all have like the same feeling about that movie, being how much all of us have an affinity for movies that tend to be brutal, bleak, cynical.
Yeah.
And there's not a drop of cynicism in this movie. This is one of the most like optimistic movies I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
The greatest antagonist in this film is a storm.
That is only there for a few minutes.
It just barely happens, and then it's over.
Yeah, there's barely any conflict in the entire film.
Yeah.
And it's still
But it
quite
works.
good. Yeah.
You know, like I never felt like there wasn't enough conflict. Like I was like engaged in it.
Yeah.
Pretty much almost the whole time. Towards the end, like the last chunk of the movie, the last act-ish, I was getting like a little bit bored.
It felt like it had maybe one too many songs in there.
Yeah.
But
I mean, aside from that, I was into the story, I was into the characters, I was into the music.
And we
I was
didn't
into
even see the
setting.
first one.
Yeah.
So that's funny. Is none of us saw the first one of any of those choices.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. I went to go see it with Amy, with my wife, and she loves the first one, just absolutely loves it. So I saw it with Amy and thought that I had a much different experience than you guys would. And then you guys saw it, and then we both...
Yeah, well, when we walked out, we're like, I can't wait to see D tomorrow because he's going to think we're crazy. I was so certain that when we told you we liked it, you would be like, what?
Yeah, I
was like, we liked it, and you're like, yeah, I liked it too. You know?
Yeah, I was very curious what you're going to say. Because I had a feeling that you weren't going to like it because of the way the story kind of plays out and like the characters and the lack of conflict and stuff like that.
Right.
And so I was wondering if this is going to connect with D or not.
We talked about this briefly in the car, and it was we talked about the story and if it was good enough to hold together. And you said that it accomplished what it set out to do, which is basically what movies need to do.
That's what I think. That's like one of the biggest deal makers as to whether or not a movie works or not.
Right.
Is do they succeed in in matching the objective and vision of its makers. And in this film, you could just tell from top and bottom that this is exactly what it is meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has a very true identity, a strong sense of who it is, of who this, what this
It
film
does.
is.
Yeah.
It definitely does.
And it has a really good cast, impressive cast, but it's not necessarily top to bottom amazing acting. It has a good script, but it's not a great script,
Right.
right? And the story was so-so,
Yeah.
Relatively minimal.
right?
And pretty minimal, right?
Yeah.
And yet, as a whole, the film came together remarkably well.
Right.
And I think that's largely attributed to them knowing exactly what they wanted to be and pulling it off.
Yeah.
That's where the heart comes in.
Yeah.
Right.
We just saw we went and saw Unfriended as well. And that movie had no heart.
Right.
Had no heart at
Yeah.
all.
None.
This movie was all heart. And I don't know, it sucked me in.
Well, this is what's interesting is like when you talk about why movies are bad, a lot of people like to point out plot holes. We like to point out that it didn't have this elements and this elements. But when it comes down to it, it really depends on if they wanted to succeed at this one thing and if they missed that mark. And that's all that makes it, really. I mean, all the ones that we talked about that have been bad movies, like, for instance, Winchester, did not get the scary seriousness they were looking for.
You could tell they were trying to be something that it wasn't.
Right.
Exactly.
Same with Death Wish.
Yep.
Same with...
you could feel what kind of movie Death Wish wanted to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And they did not reach that point.
Exactly.
And that's kind of why I feel like that's why I don't really care too much about looking into what the any movie is going to be about that I'm going to see or anything like that, because the setting and the story doesn't necessarily matter to me, because it all comes down to like the execution. Like anything could be awesome if it's executed the way it was originally intended or whatever. Like no one's gonna make a movie with the vision of like, oh, this is gonna be just like a meh movie. Everyone has a vision for their movie that they're making that is a really specific, awesome thing, and it's just not always the case that filmmakers reach
and
that,
I think it's a huge challenge.
Yeah, it's hard
to actually pull off the vision from beginning to end. Filmmaking is filled with compromises.
Oh yeah.
You keep bringing people onto it's a collaborative process. You need sometimes hundreds or thousands of people to pull off making a movie.
Yeah.
And everyone who comes into that fold is going to bring a piece of their own, unless you have a very strong, charismatic, creative leader,
Right.
at the head of the movie.
And in this case, they had a super, super strong aesthetic. Well, one, it's a sequel.
Yeah, so it was already established
Right.
largely.
They have an audience and all that.
Yeah, and so you could tell. So one being a musical, right? We already know that it's based around music and not so much around diegetic stuff.
Right.
Two, there's a strong visual aesthetic in here, where they're all about the colors of everything.
It was
deep.
very vivid.
Yeah,
Right.
It's only deep focus. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't notice that, but now that you're saying it, I do notice it.
It's really crazy. There was a scene in here that brought my attention to this deep focus thing. Actually, it wasn't all the time.
Meaning everything's in focus. In
Right.
the
That's
shot.
very old school.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
One of the
Isn't
things
that
brought
like an
my-
Orson Welles thing? Didn't he do that
He
a
did
lot?
that a lot,
He
yeah.
like pioneered that.
Yeah. How they achieved it here, I think, and I haven't looked into this, but there were plenty of shots where they were on the rooftop or, I guess, awning of like the giant hotel, and you could oversee the entire city and the landscape and everything, and everything in the outside. It was in focus just enough so you could make out what it was, and I think all of it was miniature.
Really?
I think so.
Of the set?
The set, the whole city.
The whole city.
There were a few moments, a few set pieces where I could tell it was a set.
Yeah.
They were in a studio.
Yeah, and what's cool about that also is that they utilize it as if it is a set,
Yeah.
as if it's a play.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's what's great about having, the curtain call scene at the very end,
Right.
right? Like, because they established this whole concept of like you are watching a Broadway musical on a screen, they didn't need any explanation for why younger versions and older versions of the same character are dancing together,
Right, yeah.
and the deceased mother is singing a solo, and
Yeah, you just get it. It's just
you just get it.
Yeah. It's just a fun thing.
There's a thing right here.
Oh my gosh, what is that?
There's a thing.
What is that thing?
Is it the tripod?
I think it's the black foil. Yeah. Oh man, you got it. Whew, that was intense.
Weird.
Strange.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Is it?
Yeah.
They did some actually really cool things visually in this film.
Like the transitions?
Yeah.
Every transition was super creative.
Awesome
Insane.
transitions. In that musical number where, is she Sophie? Is that her name?
Sophia,
What?
yeah.
Which
Amanda
one?
Seyfried.
Yeah.
Oh,
main
the
lady.
daughter.
Yeah, the daughter.
Yeah, I don't know her name.
Her and her boyfriend Sky, they're separated by miles, and they have a singing duet.
Right.
Yeah. And they do this thing where they end up in each other's mirrors.
That was crazy.
It's
Yeah.
freaking great.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That was so like too good for this movie.
Yeah.
There's
There
a
was
lot of that.
A few of those where I'm like, wait, what? How'd that get in here?
Like, I was surprised how far they took the mirror thing too, because they do like a couple like trippy weird things back to back,
yeah.
but then it like kept going, and I was like, holy crap, they're taking this all the way.
Plenty of movies do the thing where it's like we see her in the mirror,
Yeah.
where the mirror is basically a window into the other set.
Yeah.
But this was completely different because the camera passed through the mirror and then moved around it.
Right,
You know?
right.
It was really neat.
Yeah, I'm just remembering that now. Yeah, that was crazy.
In the very first musical number, which is at the graduation, right, scene, they sing "When I Kissed the Teacher."
Yeah.
And they do this shot where the camera is sort of, I'm guessing, on a crane, and it's just moving into the wheels of a bunch of bikes. And as its camera's moving towards it, that bike pulls out like that.
I love that shot.
Boom, boom,
yeah.
boom, boom, boom. And then another one where it looked like the bikes were on glass.
Yeah,
when they're going
over
overhead.
the camera.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, they're going the extra mile for some of these shots. It's like, that's not necessarily an easy shot to get. That there's a lot of logistics involved with that basic, simple
And could you
shot.
imagine directing the scene where they sing Dancing Queen
Yeah.
and those boats are
On the
coming in
boats.
with
Yeah.
all the choreographed dance number going
Right.
on?
That was
I'm
pretty
just
crazy.
like, dude, I want to be directing this scene so bad.
They had some very animated extras.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, oh yes.
Like when you're watching it, like I couldn't take my eyes. Like I wanted
there
to
were a
focus.
lot of extras that just caught your eyes.
I wanted to focus on just one person and just see how they acted throughout the whole thing. In a lot of big productions, they kind of fall apart, and in this one, every single one is super.
Well, also,
animated.
it's sort of an unwritten rule in Hollywood that your extras are meant to be sort of plain-looking people.
Right.
You try
Right.
to
And
find
these are
sort
distinctive,
of
yeah.
generic-looking people that are just sort of blend in and become sort of a vague background so that your stars stand out.
Right.
You're not supposed to be distracted by extras, but everyone on the screen was like, "Ta-da!"
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. I love that. And that's kind of what it comes down to for this movie, is that it was really, really, really fun, and not in like a Marvel fun, but like in a exuding charisma and
Not Marvel.
joy and you know what I mean though, right? It's just exuding
Everything
this
that's not Marvel.
confidence. Yeah, I try to crap on Marvel in every episode as much
This
as I
is
can.
hilarious. Now I think about it, I'm just like, what are the standard everyday movie fans thinking if they're watching this episode and hearing these three guys say that we like Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again better than virtually any Marvel movie we've seen?
It's not true for me, but
I don't know if it's totally true either, but I feel like I got a more joyful experience out
I
of
think it's
watching
definitely
it
joyful. Yeah.
than I did any of the Marvel movies we've done together.
I think the only Marvel movie that I had more fun watching was seeing the first Avengers for the first time in theaters.
Yeah.
That was a really cool experience for me. But
I had fun in this a lot, but there were things that I was trying to think how exactly it's achieving, like it's like every time there was a dance number or a musical number or something, it was put in a certain place that wasn't too far and wasn't too close to other musical numbers. And there is this...
It felt like an album.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole thing felt like an album.
Yeah, there's this kind of roller coaster technique that designers like to use in things where they start low and end high. And what that is basically engagement process. So you have very little engagement because people don't know what they're going to see, and then very high engagement at the very end because they're fully committed now. And in between, you have this roller coaster thing where you go up, where you're like a lot of engagement, and then you dive back down just for a little bit, so that when you build back up, it feels better. And so the whole time you're doing this, and this was so much like that, where every single musical number was an answer to a question that they set up.
Yeah,
and I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, you certainly never forgot what you were watching, right? And truly, and the best movies swallow you in, and you become a part of the world, and you forget you're in a movie theater.
Yeah,
this wasn't that type of movie. You're always fully aware that you're at a ABBA concert turned into a story,
right?
But they don't claim to be anything else. So that's again why it works.
You know, I wonder if that's the reason why I don't very much like the Beatles one. What is that called?
Across the Universe?
Across the Universe.
I like that one a lot.
So I don't like it much, and I think it's because I was so focused on the part of the story rather than wanting to hear all the Beatles songs.
It's Dancing Queen or whatever. It's Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia, but with Beatles.
It is Mamma Mia of the Beatles.
Right.
It's exactly what it is.
So that could be it.
Yeah, and I guess it's not to say that like this is there's still stuff that I didn't like too much about this movie. Like I wasn't super fond of going back and forth in time.
I loved that.
Really?
I love that so much.
Some of it worked and some of it didn't.
Yeah, there were times it
was like too much.
Actually, there were times when I thought the flashbacks to the younger versions of the characters was becoming distracting.
Yeah.
And I actually liked the older versions better.
Yeah,
I felt complete opposite.
Yeah.
Well, it varied for me. Like towards the end,
same here.
I was more interested in the modern era.
Yeah.
It felt like they said all they had to say with the past, I guess. And I guess I got kind of tired of like when she got pregnant at the end.
I didn't even see the first movie and still got emotional when Meryl Streep showed up at the baptism.
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh my God, she's there!"
That's pretty powerful.
She has a cool exit in that scene, like when
she
the
closes
doors, the doors open and it's just like blown out, overexposed, and she just sinks into white and the door closes.
I like that.
I love that.
Yeah,
it's so simple.
Yeah.
I didn't like the opening scene very much. Like it threw me off. Like it was almost like abrasive with
the first dance
the first
number?
musical number.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know what we were in for yet.
Yeah.
You know, because we hadn't seen the first movie.
Right.
I knew this was a musical, but I didn't know what kind of musical it was. And we've talked about this before, that there's really two types. You know, you have like the Les Mis musical, where the musical numbers literally replace dialogue.
Right.
I mean, it's taking place. They are musical numbers and they are people bursting into song, but it's still it's existing in reality as if it was diegetic sound.
The lyrics are dialogue.
Right.
Right.
Not
and then
poetic.
there's musicals like Mamma Mia and many, many others where the songs are literally an expression of a character's internal world or two characters' internal world.
Yeah.
Perfect example being the Waterloo number, where her and the British dude, I forget his name, are dancing all over the restaurant, and everyone in the restaurant joins their dances, and they do things that are completely abstract and weird and obviously not in reality.
Yeah.
And they end up back in their seats, and everyone in the restaurant is eating like nothing happened.
Right. And then the dialogue continues as if
The musical numbers are abstract. It's an expression of an emotion or an idea. And because I didn't know that, when that musical number started in the graduation sequence, I was like, what the
Yeah.
What is? Why aren't they throwing her out of the graduation?
I had the same reaction.
Like, why isn't this like, head chancellor of the school not like throwing her out on her? Like, she's just sitting there listening. I'm like, and then she starts singing too, and I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I see. It's that kind of musical.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And then I was in. I had no problems after that.
Yeah. After that, you just kind of give in, and you're just like, okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just tell the story and have the music with it. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. Again, I keep coming back to that this is a really, really good time at the movies. Like, it's just it's enjoyable,
It's funny what you had said earlier about the conflict. Well, all of us talked about the conflict. How you said we like really bleak movies.
Yeah.
Ones that have a very strong conflict and almost don't get out at the end.
Or don't.
And this one almost had none whatsoever, to where you can just sit down and just be with it. Like Amy described it as one of the perfect drive-in movies. I'm like, yeah, definitely. Yeah. You could come to the movie anytime and it'd be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's like an immersive experience. Like, it's immersing you into that atmosphere of like a party and like Greece, this beautiful, beautiful place.
A long music video.
Yeah,
it is.
It is kind of what it is. Yeah, a very long, elaborate music video. Another thing I found refreshing about this that you mentioned earlier about the cynicism and the lack thereof in this movie, how it's just
completely non-cynical film.
Not cynical at all. It's completely genuine, and there's no hint of irony, and I just found that really refreshing.
Yeah.
In a time where pop culture is extremely ironic
all the time.
Yeah, just constantly. So it was nice to see some, just genuine, feelings.
Genuity.
Yeah, just some genuity going on.
Because that's a word.
It's the best word. Coined. Also,
okay, back to this topic of what I would call identity crisis in films, the identity crisis of a film. This being an example of a film that was perfectly in sync with its own identity.
Absolutely.
That was actually the big flaw of the film we covered last week, Sorry to Bother You.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is that it lost track of what it was supposed to be or trying to be.
Right.
And by the end, you were like, I don't really understand what I just watched. The first 2/3 was one movie, the last third was a totally different movie.
Yeah.
They just didn't knit, and it left you feeling kind of disappointed.
Right.
So movies need to know who they are.
Yeah, you gotta have I guess, I don't know. You gotta have a goal.
We have two words that we say a lot in here.
Yeah.
It's intent
and
genuine.
Yeah, genuity. To correct you.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Intention.
Intention
and genuity.
Yeah.
Intentionness and genuity.
Intentionness.
I like
that. Yeah, that's good.
What was the best song in this movie?
Dancing Queen.
I like.
No, we all sang Super Troopers.
Trooper.
Yeah.
Over and over. It was so funny.
It was
We were
such
going
a
to
good
lunch.
Exit number at the end.
When we went to go see Unfriended, and we're all just like.
It was easy to learn the guy's part.
Yep. Yeah, the guy's part was easy.
Yeah, and that huge encore number, all the men are just walking around going, oop-pa-pa, oop-pa-pa. It was funny to me how many of these dance numbers began with them actually singing, like performing.
Yeah.
So the graduation one's a fine example, but then it evolves into something outside of that where now they're like riding bikes across town and jumping into a lake and stuff.
Yeah.
But they keep microphones in their hands. Like they're now 10 miles from where they started singing, but they're still singing in a microphone.
There's someone sitting in that restaurant, and there's the music still coming through the amp. Like you can still hear them.
We can hear them. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's great.
I almost laughed out loud when I saw the boats coming in for the Dancing Queen number, because it looked so much like the really, really bad, cheesy finale of Gilligan's Island.
I haven't seen the finale.
So in Gilligan's Island had like one of the sort of just
Oh no, I did see the finale.
most worst pulled off final episodes.
Because it was forced, right?
They make their way back. You know, I forget how they get rescued, but they get like this hero's welcome back, and and Gilligan is acting like he's a character on a Disneyland parade float. And he's like on the top of like this ship they built, and he's like dancing and waving to people while they came in. It was very like super musical, which this movie was meant to be a musical. So it
Gilligan's
fits.
Island was a musical.
I guess.
Yeah, I love the dancing queen section of this.
It was awesome.
It was pretty amazing to see just a fleet of people, just dancing and going. Every single person, every single extra, like you were saying,
right,
100% giving it their all.
Giving it their all.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I just really admire that.
What a freaking cast!
It reminded me a lot of La La Land, and I actually really enjoyed La La Land, even though it was a very different musical than this one was.
Yeah,
but I think because that one had actually a pretty strong story.
Definitely, it almost drops being a musical halfway through for like a large chunk of the movie is musicless.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely not a music video.
Yeah, that is a drama. A romance drama first, musical second.
Where they sing songs.
And that's something also about that movie is they don't have they have great cinematography in La La Land, and in here, Mamma Mia, they don't. And I'm thinking it's because they don't need to.
And it wasn't like I never got the impression that they, like you were saying, the deep field kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing that, you're trying to get like crazy wide shots,
right?
And you're trying to get the set pieces
it was tons
and stuff.
Of wide
Yeah,
shots.
there was no intimacy here at all.
Yeah, not necessarily conveying emotions with the camera.
Right.
It's the performance.
It's all the performance. Right.
That being said, there's one shot that totally perplexed me, and that was this weird day for night thing they did on the coast, where they were literally shooting straight into the sun with the water glistening, but they turned the whole thing blue and trying to. Is
that the one with the big fake moon?
Yeah.
The moon threw me off.
I'm pretty sure that was the sun in real life.
Interesting.
Because there was so much light bouncing off of the ocean. It did look
weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a sky replacement.
Maybe,
or a sun replacement.
Yeah. Whether or not it was broad daylight when they shot it.
Yeah. Well, they had a lot of backdrop replacement in here.
Yeah.
There was a ton of blue screen, green screen stuff.
Some of the green screen stuff looked like the room rooftop.
Some of it looked really bad.
Yeah. Like you could see like the,
but again,
the
edges,
it just kind of added to the feeling that we were watching them play.
That's another thing.
And
that's
why I can't really fault it for it, because it's like it just adds to this aesthetic of it.
Right.
Where it's like, this totally works.
Even if they were seriously like with the blue screen and we saw the blue screen.
Yeah.
It'd work.
Yeah.
It'd be fine.
It's not even like because it's not like they're trying to say this is real.
Right.
And this, you have to believe that this is the real thing.
They're just building a setting.
Yeah. Exactly.
So didn't you guys have a stance on which dad is the real dad?
Oh, Pierce Brosnan.
It's got to be Pierce Brosnan, right?
It's Pierce Brosnan.
It's Skarsgård.
Bill?
Yeah, it's Bill
Fat
Skarsgård.
It's his brother.
Yeah, it's the twin.
It's his twin brother, the fat Skarsgård.
Yeah.
I really like Stellan Skarsgård. He's a great actor.
That's funny. I really, really like what's his name? Colin Firth.
He's awesome.
He's great, yeah.
But I mean, Pierce Brosnan.
I say Skarsgård because he has blonde hair.
His kid version reminded me of the guy in Stranger Things. In season 2.
The bully.
Yeah,
the emotional glam rocker.
The glam rocker, yeah.
It was weird to me that the first young I don't know, I still don't know who it was, because that's another thing. Sometimes I got confused on who was who.
I never did. Amy did too. I didn't.
Really? You were in it. So yeah, it was interesting that you, having not seen the first one, were able to keep up with the time differences and what characters were what. But Amy
got a little bit lost. On a motorcycle.
I didn't have any trouble following it.
I was a little confused.
There you go.
Piece of cake.
I am the fool.
Fool.
Everybody plays the fool.
But my
Sometimes.
point.
Sometimes.
It's only natural. It's true.
I don't know all the lyrics, so.
Everybody plays
The guy, the nervous guy, who
The
faked
British?
his
The British French.
who faked his French accent.
He's
in the
not
beginning.
French.
The British French guy.
He faked his French accent.
No, he
That's
was
what-
trying to speak
Oh,
French
yeah.
because he thought she worked there.
Right. Yeah. I don't know why I kept assigning that to like, oh, he's faking. He's faking.
He's not faking.
he's just trying.
bad. He's just bad at French.
bad. Yeah, I was like
faking it.
Yeah, that's what I assigned in my head. I don't know why. He only has like one scene
Yeah,
as
he
a young
does.
person, and the other two guys have like the rest of the movie.
A lot more, yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I get that.
But
It was weird.
he's the only one that they actually showed in bed with her, like the aftermath of their sex.
yeah,
With both of them in bed.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. Like they had like, to me, I wasn't sure until she actually said, "Yeah, we slept together last night." You
Right.
know? Which I
Maybe.
think is good because it would have gotten annoying if we had to watch that 3 times.
yeah. It's like, okay, come on. Yeah,
When she's like, "I'm not that type of girl. I don't do that
over and over again.
often." Well, okay, lately I have.
Lately, yeah.
What kind of girl are you? 3 times in like a week? 3 different people. But hey, free spirit.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want.
Drink a
Anything
Diet
you want.
Coke,
You can
man.
drink a Diet Coke. You can kill some people. You can do whatever you want. You can,
Just be you.
yeah, you can
Just do
eat
you.
some people.
You be you.
You could go
You like
fishing.
yurts? You want to live in a yurt?
You can
Yurt
yurt
it
it
up.
up.
Yurt it up.
You can go. What? You want to go on a hike? That sounds like a lot of work.
Want a marathon?
A marathon?
Sure. I mean, that sounds super hard.
Okay.
You're into that kind of thing,
Sounds
you weirdo. You
stupid.
freak. What's wrong with you? Don't go on a marathon. But you do you, yeah.
Me? I'm gonna drink a Diet Coke.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
They have no idea what that means.
That
I'm a
was bad.
sheeple. I'm drinking Coca-Cola.
Oh crap,
I'm
we're
a follower.
hypocrites.
I'm not true to myself.
Oh no.
I'm drinkless.
Sad.
D's just eating batteries.
Yeah, and drinking lenses.
Are we done with this movie? Did we? No.
I guess so.
'Cause
I think
on
we
the
lost the
nonsense.
momentum.
Yeah.
since-
We ended
since
up on
you-
nonsense.
You went on your
Well-
edited out phone call there.
Yeah, we have divulged a little bit.
Don't do that.
Well, okay, then I'm gonna pose. Take the batteries away. No, Kenny.
Kenny, no. No.
No, don't touch the light. Don't touch the light, Kenny. No. One.
What kind of pizza is this?
What kind
Oh.
of pizza is this? Or does anyone have anything else to say?
Oh, before we get into the pizzas, hey, submit your short film to us. We have this
Oh,
little
yeah.
thing called Short Film Roundup. We do every Thursday.
Thursday,
Every
usually.
Thursday. Submit it to us on our Reddit subreddit. Sorry, our Reddit.
Our
Reddit.
we
We
own
own
Reddit.
r/Carmen Line Studios.
Yeah, link will be in the description for that one.
Every week we cover 3 short films that our users submitted.
Yep.
Sometimes they're awesome, sometimes they're not.
Sure.
We're always very honest in our coverage of them, and everyone learns and has a great time.
Good.
Yep.
It's good.
You can even go discuss some of those films on our subreddit as well. We have discussion threads for those.
Is that also on r/Carmen Line Studios?
Yes,
Which is also
it is.
in the description.
Which is also in the description. There's so much to do there.
Have you looked into the description yet? There's a lot there.
There's
It's
so much.
crazy.
Go down there, click on some things.
There's like a link.
Have you subscribed? Are you even subscribed? You need to subscribe.
You're not subbed?
Smash! Smash that like button!
Sorry. I'm so sorry. I regret.
What kind of
my
pizza is this
actions.
movie?
D.
Ooh, I don't know. Shoot. Margarita pizza.
Oh,
Ooh, good choice.
That's a great choice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yes.
There you go.
This may be. I think I may have used this one before. I'm not sure, but when it comes to
Zombie apocalypse.
my mind, is it the zombie apocalypse? No. What movie did I do that one for? That was one of my best pizza ratings ever.
I don't remember.
There were food rations involved, and
Quiet Place.
Oh, yeah, I think that might have been it.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Anyway, if I liken this film and the experience to a pizza, I would have to do it thusly. This is the pizza that your coach gives you at the end of a Little League baseball game,
yeah, you have done that.
where you just won the championship.
You didn't use this.
I told you I've used it before.
Yeah.
And they bring out
Same
pizza, and there's Capri Suns that
Oh,
are like
man.
coming right out of the ice bucket.
Capri Suns?
Capri Suns and the pizza, and you just eat it. And you know what? No one is talking. No one is looking at each other saying like, "Well, I've had better pizza before." The crust so-so. No one's doing that because you're just having a great old time eating pizza after the ball game and drinking freaking Capri Suns.
Yeah, man.
And like,
Yeah.
and it might be like subpar pizza, but it doesn't matter because in that moment, it's just everything's great.
It's for feeding you.
Everything's great.
Yeah.
And it
Nourishment.
wow. I just did the same thing you did last episode.
Dropped it.
Blank.
How about you just stay out of it when I'm doing my pizza, right? Just back off. You had your moment.
Jeez, this is getting aggressive. Oh, man.
Give me back the spotlight. I want macaroni pizza, guys.
Eat your
Yeah,
batteries.
that was
D.
a good one, D.
Just
when you
eat your
did it.
batteries and shut up. All right, thank you. Now, hi.
Is my turn?
It is your turn.
All right. This is a margarita pizza.
That is perfect. Perfect. It's a margarita pizza at a Little League ball game,
Whoa, that's fancy.
paired with Capri Sun.
Capri Sun.
Or if you're an adult, boxed wine.
You have you get your margarita pizza at a place and you're like, what is this paired with? What Capri Sun does this pair with? Oh, this goes great with Cool Rush.
Yeah, Cool Rush totally is the best one. Love Cool Rush. You know what? Dude, did you ever get a Capri Sun when it's been in the freezer or on ice enough so that it just barely turns a little slush?
Yes.
I
And then
actually
you
have not done that.
That's
then-
heaven.
and then
That's heaven on earth, man.
it is, man. You snip open the top, then you go eat it
Whoa.
with a spoon.
Oh,
Eat it with a spoon.
there's just nothing better.
Yeah.
There's nothing better. That is
Dude,
the
I've been, like drinking.
That is the Kubrick of
Juice?
of packaged beverages.
Wow.
That's pretty high praise. I mean, like I've been drinking Capri Sun for a long time. Like
Doing
back
it
when-
wrong. You're
Yeah,
doing it wrong.
I've never done that.
Okay, you know what you're also supposed to do?
What?
Before they had the easy open top, which I think was before you.
I know
you were
what
even
you're about
born.
to
Before
say.
my time.
That's it.
Flip it upside
Flip it
down.
upside down. Stab at the bottom.
I did that.
You're weird.
Why'd you do that?
They had
No
easy
one-
open
now
tops
it has
then.
easy open tops. No one does that anymore. We did it out of necessity because back in our age, the little hole was no different from the rest of the whole thing.
Kids these days.
You're
Wait.
totally spoiled.
Wait, I had a little hole in my Capri Suns.
No, the point is, in your Capri Suns, there's a little hole space to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It used to just have a dot drawn
Oh,
there.
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
It
you
was
had to-
no different than
there
the
was-
rest of the, and so it was easier.
Yeah, right. I remember
to flip
that.
it up. No, you
Yeah,
don't.
I remember. I would flip
You're
it
a
upside
child.
down. And
You don't remember nothing.
Dude,
You were
I
born
remember
after
the 90s.
9/11.
I remember the 90s. I remember 9/11.
No, you don't.
I was watching Teletubbies, and then my mom changed the channel.
They showed 9/11 on the on the little Teletubbies like, woo! Again. Was that Tinky?
No, that was Dory. Dory.
Dory's a fish.
Tinky.
Dory's a fish.
I don't
Lala?
remember their names.
There's
It
a
was
Lala.
Lala.
So that's the talkies.
Ladies and gentlemen,
On that note,
the Talkies. Thank you again for watching another episode. We give high marks to Mamma Mia.
yeah, honestly, I can't really. I don't have that much bad.
There's
to say.
honestly hasn't been that many movies we've been that positive about, other than
Yeah.
like our favorite movies.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is kind
I'm
of fun.
kind of surprised at how much we're praising this.
Yeah, me too.
It's a good movie.
Maybe we just needed it.
Yeah.
we just needed a
You
dose
just needed a
of,
breather.
yeah, just
Something refreshing,
yeah.
pure.
Well, something that was refreshing and pure that did not require turning your brain off.
Yeah, exactly. didn't
Like
have
I
to
don't
do
see
that.
anyone saying that. Well, it's fine. You just turn your brain off. You didn't have to. You know. It's not a good movie, Dad. Oh, it's fine. Just
Could you
turn off your
imagine,
brain.
like Mamma Mia? What? You watch Mamma Mia, you're like, just turn your brain off. You're like, but
okay.
But then I will.
Start drooling.
I don't think I'd be able to understand anything. We'll talk about that on our next episode.
Next episode of what?
The Talkies.
The Talkies! I'm Kenny.
I'm D.
I'm Taylor.
And we'll see you next time at Dancing Queen. La la la, and it rhymes with teen.
17.
Oh, yeah.
17.
You can dance.
Oh, no, don't do it.
You can dance if you want to.
Gonna
You
smash
can leave
over.
your friends behind. And if you dance, if you
Sometimes you can't dance, sometimes
you're no
you know-
friend of mine.
you're not my friend.
Dancing
Queen,
Queen.
17.
She's a queen.
She's a bee.